Straight ahead on CCX News, a high school hockey stunner. Wayzata pulls off an upset at a point in the season when it mattered the most. Plus, a standout student and a trusting teacher willing to lend his arm. But first, taxi turbulence.
They've really changed the game as far as pricing-wise and unfair competition.
We talk with local drivers who are trying to survive an uber competitive market. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Taxi drivers say these are tough times.
Competition from ride-sharing companies like Lyft and Uber has cut into profits. Eric Nelson has more on how traditional taxi drivers are trying to keep it going.
On a typical day at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, takeoffs and landings are routine. But just across the tarmac from the constant jet activity, drivers at United Taxi are mostly idle.
We used to sit here only about an hour to get a loan. In a run back in the 80s and 90s. Today, you have, like you see on the screen, your waiting is almost approximately about 5 to 6 hours, 4 hours.
Brooklyn Park's Abdul Muhammad has worked for United since 1989, making runs to and from MSP. But in the last few years, he has noticed his income shrinking.
Today, you have to work like approximately 15 hours to make $100. Sometimes it could be less.
These are taxing times in the taxi business. The driving pie is sliced thin, and the market is saturated at the airport, thanks to the arrival of Lyft and Uber in 2013.
They've really changed the game as far as pricing-wise and unfair competition.
Taxi drivers and others say that the playing field is not level, and that Lyft and Uber have an unfair advantage.
It's been tough on the taxi industry, especially because the taxis have to charge, they're government regulated, but to charge $2.75 a mile, where Uber comes in the market and they're $1 a mile for Uber X.
Cabs, limos, and black car services need state licenses and commercial insurance, while Lyft and Uber drivers do not.
Lyft and Uber should play by the rules affecting everyone here.
The Uber company they have so much monopoly over us, and they get the money and the power, and they are running us out of the business.
Now there are between 700 and 800 drivers at United Taxi. Many of them that we spoke to are very concerned about the future of their profession. They also believe that they are not treated equally by the Metropolitan Airport Commission. Alex and Mike?
All right, Eric, thanks. New Hope police are asking for help locating a missing person.
They've been trying to retrace the steps of 22-year-old Adam Clark for the last 48 hours. His car was found parked in an area north of Minnehaha Park in Minneapolis on Tuesday night. Police say it's unusual for Adam to go missing. Anyone with information is asked to call New Hope Police.
Despite the district's best efforts, Osseo School Superintendent Kate McGuire says they've made little progress in increasing the number of teachers of color. McGuire told the House Legislative Committee today that the number of teachers of color in the district has only increased by 1% in the past 5 years. She says a House bill aimed at recruiting young teachers is a good start. McGuire says attracting those young teachers would probably work better than convincing older workers to change careers. That House bill would expand eligibility for loan forgiveness and provide grants for new teachers entering subject areas where there are teacher shortages. It would also increase aid for districts that have a teacher development plan and create a teacher shortage task force. McGuire told the committee it will take statewide changes to make a meaningful difference.
Twin Cities home builders are busy and about to get busier. According to the Builders Association of the Twin Cities, the top community for new home building this past month was Plymouth with 30 permits. Lakeville and Lake Elmo were close behind. Demand for new homes is on the rise given a shortage of single-family home listings. The last report filed by the Minneapolis Area Association of Realtors shows just over 8,000 homes on the market, and that's down 25% compared to the previous year. Small minority-owned businesses are getting a rare chance to rehab homes and reshape neighborhoods.
Through a pilot project, Hennepin County is teaming up with local contractors to renovate tax-forfeited houses, including 2 in the Northwest Metro. Sonia Goins has more.
This Golden Valley home needs a lot of TLC. Graffiti will have to be removed from the walls. But for now, crews are busy taking down damaged boards in the basement ceiling. It's just the start of a very large project.
Pipes were frozen out. The windows were non-compliant. So we got all new windows, new roof.
Waldy Morris says normally a small company like his wouldn't be able to hammer out a contract with the county because smaller companies don't have a lot of cash up front like larger contractors.
It could be a little challenging, to get the cash flow to fund the jobs and to keep it going, to make the payroll.
The Small Business Enterprise Home Rehabilitation Program is helping smaller companies get past some of those cash concerns.
Normally a contract like this would be a 30-day payment term. On this one, we are paying them within 10 days. In addition, we are also able to advance them payment on materials.
The program also helps small business contractors by giving them a break on insurance costs. The county lowered liability insurance from $2 million to $500,000. Currently, 14 contractors are on board with Hennepin County. Women and people of color are doing 80% of the work.
Great opportunity, to work with the county.
Contractors also have a personal investment in the projects. All of the business owners live within the community they're working in.
As a result of these contracts, they are now being solicited for other projects by other agencies.
The program is not only assisting small companies, but homeowners who live nearby.
We're engaging on a number of positive levels. So we're engaging small business enterprises, we're rebuilding the tax base, we're investing, we're providing work opportunities, helping build small companies.
In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The project cost about $1.2 million, and when the work is complete, the houses will be sold for their appraised market value.
Food shelves all across the state kicked off a month-long drive this week for Minnesota Food Share Month. Interfaith Outreach in Plymouth says this month is when donations from the holidays dwindle and the nonprofit faces slow summer months ahead. So this month they hope to raise $150,000 plus 100,000 pounds of food to help fight and prevent hunger.
Make a donation online, pick up some extra groceries at the grocery store, or plan a food drive in your neighborhood, at your work, at your church. Get your friends and neighbors involved.
Many food shelves across the state are kicking off campaigns this week for the Minnesota Food Share March campaign. It is the largest fund and food drive for food shelves in the state, when donations can be leveraged by additional dollars from Minnesota Food Share. Still ahead, we meet a standout student who could one day serve as your emergency lifeline.
Then later in sports, highlights from 4 opening round games in the girls' basketball playoffs.
But first, less wind and rising temperatures on Friday.
This week's standout student is on her way toward a career in medicine.
Wait until you see what this Osseo High School senior can do.
We like to test our students and give them a chance to have that pressure of the real deal.
The heat is on Maren Strootman.
She's going to start an IV on me. That's right.
The camera rolls as this Osseo senior works to put in an IV line.
Kind of goes like that.
And if you're wondering why a 17-year-old is doing this, it's all part of Maren's story in the Health Science Magnet program.
Last year we went through and learned CPR, first aid, EMR skills, and then we also took an EMT class.
Let's say you've got a person who's got an abnormal heart rhythm.
Maren is in her second year of the school's OEC program, or Opportunities in Emergency Care. She'll soon take a test to become a nationally registered EMT.
And that's one of the things that we try to push with OEC, is that when you walk out, you either want to do medicine or you don't want to do medicine. And Maren, she's got all the skill sets ready to go and fly.
A career in medicine awaits this 4-sport athlete and straight-A student fueled by service. Maren recently earned the Girl Scout Gold Award, the highest achievement possible, for a service project at the Eastman Nature Center.
They needed a new track display, so something that could show different animal tracks. My project was we were researching animal tracks that were found around the park, and then we were making sure that we had the right dimensions and the right lengths between strides and everything. That looks pretty good.
Now back to the results of that IV line demonstration.
There you go. Good.
and the trusting teacher willing to lend his arm.
She did a great job. Not painful, got right where it needed to be. So I'm gonna make it to her another day.
If the test is any indication, this standout student is on her way toward a career sure to help others.
That's definitely something that I want to do with my life, is just make sure that I'm there whenever people need it, and just to do my part to make other people's lives better.
Maren plans to attend Boston University on a conditional Army ROTC scholarship. Coming up, Dr. Seuss becomes every teacher's best friend.
But first, highlights from that big Wayzata Edina boys hockey game. John Jacobson has a complete recap next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The Wayzata boys hockey team lost 3 times to Edina during the regular season, but the games were close. The Trojans had confidence they could knock off the Hornets in the Section 6 AA title game. But Wayzata strikes early. The point shot is saved, but Griffin Ness buries the rebound just 25 seconds into the game. The Trojans come out very strong in the first few minutes. Goalie Reed Washenko had back-to-back shutouts in section play, and he's sharp in this game again. But on a Hornets power play, the first shot is denied. The clearing attempt is to Ben Brinkman. He buries it, and Edina takes the momentum in the second period. It's a 1-1 game after 2. Early in the third, watch the hustle by Andrew Urban as he steals it from the D and sets up Tyler Stevens. And Wayzata goes back in front, 2-1. And Washenko isn't about to give up the lead, coming up with several big stops down the stretch. Ness added an empty netter as the Trojans pull off the upset, knocking off Edina 3-1.
I was thinking that every time it was closer, I was like, okay, we can do this time. And playing them 3 times before and losing wasn't the way we wanted to play it, but we got in this game, one game, we had to beat them 1 time. That's all that mattered.
Well, I mean, it's always great to get a goal early, in any game, but especially in a big game like this, get the crowd into it. Just gave our team a lot of energy, and we used that to put together a great win.
Both Maple Grove and Breck play in section finals tonight, Thursday. We'll have highlights of both games Friday starting at 4 here on CCX News. It was opening night of the section playoffs for many of our local girls basketball teams Wednesday. Cooper is the number 3 seed in section 6-4A. The Hawks hosted St. Louis Park in the quarterfinals. Pick up highlights in the second half. Lauren Johnson hitting a 3 there for the Hawks. Asia Wheeler gets the rebound and put back for a 63-40 Hawks lead. Jada Buford floats it inside to Kiara Wheeler. She spins and scores for Cooper. And then in Hawks in transition, it's Asia Wheeler finishing. Cooper rolls 76-52. They'll face second seed Wayzata in the semifinals Saturday afternoon at Roosevelt High School in Minneapolis. Also in section 6, 4-seeded Armstrong hosted Minneapolis South. Nice ball movement by South. Rose Lutz finishes there for the Tigers. Jade Hill quick to the hole and gives the Tigers a 23-8 lead on the Falcons. Masenga Matanda answers with a drive and basket. That hoop surpasses the 1,000 career point mark for her. In the waning seconds of the first half, Matanda with a 3, but the Tigers still led by 10. They go on to win 44-39. South gets top-seeded Hopkins in the semis Saturday at noon at Roosevelt. In section 5-4A, Park Center is the top seed. The Pirates are looking for their 4th consecutive trip to state. Coach Chris Vanderhyde and the Pirates facing Spring Lake Park in the quarterfinals. Nice behind-the-back dribble and then the scoop shot on the lane for Megan DuBois for 2. The Pirates build on their 41-19 halftime lead. And Simonette, perfect lead pass to Danielle Schaub for the layup. She scores a dozen points in the game. Park Center was just too much for Spring Lake Park. They do a nice job of finding an open player here. Charles Nickens lays in 2 more as the Pirates win 67-28. They'll face Roseville in the semifinals Saturday at 1 at Anoka High School. Also in section 5, number 2 seed Champlin Park hosting Irondale. An errant pass by the Knights leads to a fast break for Allison Garrett. She gets Champlin Park out to a 6-2 lead. The running Rebels here in transition. Amanda Pollard to Gabby Maki for the layup, and it's 13-2. Great backdoor play coming up here. Pollard to Garrett, and then off to Erica Hicks for the easy lay-in. And Champlin Park extends its lead to 17. Garrett's picks up another assist, setting up Maki for another 2. Rebels win 56-41. They'll play Centennial in the section semifinals Saturday at 3 o'clock at Anoka. The state wrestling tournament started today with team competition. Totino-Grace qualified for the Class 2A tournament. After a 50-11 quarterfinal round loss to Scott West, the Eagles meeting Grand Rapids. Bryce Erkenbach starts them in style with a pin over Dusty Wilkie in the 106-pound match. At 145, a matchup of 30-win wrestlers. Mike Menth of Grace gets near fall points on the way to a 5-4 decision over Joe Tyndall. It's 18-16 Grand Rapids at this point. And then the Thunderhawks go on a run of wins. At 170, Brandon Frisbee pinning Cameron White, and looks like Grand Rapids will pull away. But back come the Eagles, tied at 2 late in the 220-pound match. Hunter Christensen gets a takedown to beat Cole Walters, 4-2 to make it 34-31 Grand Rapids. Grace needs a win at heavyweight, but Alex Boyd gets the only takedown to beat Mitch Fox. Grand Rapids beats Totino-Grace 37-31. Very busy day in sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. Still had the cat in the hat that seemed to be showing up everywhere, including a school in Crystal.
We'll be right back.
And finally, if you have a young student at home, you know today is a special day.
Oh, a rocket in my pocket and a Findo in my window.
But today is the birthday of children's author Dr. Seuss. He would have been 113 years old today. March 2nd is also Read Across America Day. And classrooms all across our area, including here at the Fair School in Crystal, observe the birthday with special reading activities for students of all ages.
It's just fun. I mean, when you think about Dr. Seuss and I'm asking what's your favorite book, and I'm like, wow, okay, he's still going strong. It doesn't matter what generation you're in, Dr. Seuss is always there.
And at Oakview Elementary in Maple Grove, teachers and students got in on the fun of Dr. Seuss by dressing up like their favorite Dr. Seuss characters. You see the hats in a lot of places. You couldn't step far without seeing a cat in a hat or a Thing 1 or Thing 2. This week also capped off a reading challenge for the school where students celebrated reading 178,000 minutes last month.
We are actually culminating a month-long readathon that we had with our students, and we really challenged them to up the number of minutes that they were reading every day at home.
The students got an extra surprise at lunchtime too, as the staff treated the students to root beer floats to celebrate their reading goals. And a set of librarians, we understand, even dressed up as one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, of course. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.